Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. And hey, let's talk about what's happening right now with Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, and specifically, what are the two remaining books that we're going to get released in 2020. This is pretty exciting. So, what are we getting in 2020 specifically for Dungeons & Dragons? Well, it is very specific. We have two books coming out, and today I'm going to talk about, and in this video I'm going to talk about one of those books, which is Curriculum of Chaos, the Strixhaven Magic the Gathering D&D crossover Dungeons & Dragons source book. All right, so this is going to be a source book for Dungeons & Dragons. It will be essentially an official setting, but the setting will be isolated to one location, and that is Strixhaven. And Strixhaven is a school for mages. It's specifically for wizards and warlocks and anybody who spellcasts, right? And it is a fantasy school specifically for wizards, okay? So they teach wizards and sorcerers and warlocks and all kinds of, spellcasting types, okay? Actually, I'm not sure if they teach clerics or not. That's interesting. It wasn't clear. But this is really interesting. This is actually really fascinating. So first of all, let's just talk about how we know this information. So actually, poor Dungeons & Dragons, poor Wizards of the Coast, this information just came out. So I'm giving you information that I learned from Nerd Immersion. Nerd Immersion is, in my opinion, the most definitive source for news for Dungeons & Dragons right now. Every single major event that happens with Dungeons & Dragons, Nerd Immersion covers it. He doesn't really do in-depth coverage, but he's going to cover every major product, every major event at some level. And by the way, I'm a big fan of Nerd Immersion. His channel is really growing. I think he's one of the most. He's one of the people who does a good job of covering Dungeons & Dragons. Seems very sincere. Seems to have a very cool love of the game, and despite all that, seems to be having a growing channel. A channel that is growing. Like a good example would be like WebDM, right? Those guys have a growing channel. I think at least half that team does not even like Dungeons & Dragons, right? So it's always kind of interesting, right? So what is Strixhaven? Strixhaven is really, really fascinating. There's so much to talk about here. So one, if you're not aware of Strixhaven, it is an existing thing already. So this is a Magic the Gathering card game set that has already come out. Okay, and so Strixhaven, from that perspective, it's already defined. We know what this school is. We know that it has professors, it has students. They're all learning magic, and the reality is, what is Strixhaven? Well, I'm going to shortcut it for you. Strixhaven is Hogwarts in the Magic the Gathering realms, okay? It already exists as an existing card set for Magic the Gathering. Came out, people liked it. Now, if you didn't hear it with Magic the Gathering, it's not surprising. Magic the Gathering is on its 87th release. It has 87 sets you could buy from, right? So this is just like one of 3 sets that they released. And, Dungeons & Dragons players don't really often play. They don't really care that much about Magic the Gathering, right? There's a little bit of crossover. I predicted on this channel that there was going to be a head-on collision this year between Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering, and that is absolutely starting to happen, right? So we're now getting our 3rd crossover book. We already have Ravnica. We already have Theros. No one asked for those, okay? And now we're getting Strixhaven. So you're like, okay, Scott's about to tell me how Strixhaven is going to suck. Wrongo. I am super hyped for Strixhaven. I hate to do this, but they won me over, right? I don't like these Magic the Gathering crossovers, Magic the Gathering D&D crossovers until Strixhaven. I am so down for Strixhaven. Why am I down for Strixhaven, but I talk nothing but, I really talk a lot of, I don't like a lot of non-love, for Theros and for Ravnica. Those books, I really dislike them because I think they displaced other good Dungeons & Dragons books. So why am I so hyped for Strixhaven? Well, Strixhaven is brilliant. It is a great idea. Okay, so why is Strixhaven a great idea to bring into Dungeons & Dragons, and why is it going to be such a great book? Well, I just told you, Strixhaven, it is Hogwarts with the serial numbers filed off. Now, why is that a good thing? Well, that is a very good thing, because I love Harry Potter, and I've wanted to play a Harry Potter role-playing game for 2 decades, literally 20 years, right? And J.K. Rowling has put the kibosh on that and has said you're not allowed to play. There is no official tabletop role-playing game for Harry Potter, and there are no signs that there ever will be, right? So that's why Strixhaven is so fantastic. So this has all the energy, every single aspect of Hogwarts. It has professors, it has students, it has spellcasting, it has, friendship and dragons and all of that, right? And I wish it was an official Harry Potter game, but I now realize it blew my mind when I thought about it. Why would they bring out Strixhaven now? Well, it is absolutely brilliant. So J.K. Rowling, put her finger up to her nose and was like, no tabletop role-playing game for you, world, right? And she did that for 15 years. Well, and if you're not aware, about 4 or 5 years ago, basically J.K. Rowling ran into the woke wall, and she ran in hard, head first, broke her face, the whole 9, right? And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but with anybody who has even an ounce of wokeness, J.K. Rowling is not the favorite person right now. And so for 15 years, when the world desperately wanted a Harry Potter role-playing game, she wouldn't give it to us. Now, I think J.K. Rowling would be like, you want your Harry Potter game? Here you are. And believe it or not, it would end in tears and flames, because nobody wants it now, because J.K. Rowling has gotten into so much woke trouble that it would not be well received, right? So this is good. So Strixhaven is going to give us Hogwarts. It's already given Hogwarts in Magic the Gathering. This is going to give us Hogwarts in a D&D setting. That's a fantastic idea. I would love to, go through, first year and second year and third year and fourth year as a student in Hogwarts, in a Hogwarts analogous classroom, and have rivals, and actually maybe the school is invaded, and maybe there's a war, but Strixhaven is actually literally a haven. This is fantastic. I'm so excited for this. It's got all the love, the energy, the excitement of Harry Potter, but you don't get that very problematic J.K. Rowling attached, right? And the reality is, I've wanted, I so desperately wanted a great, Harry Potter role-playing game for decades, but I'll tell you right now, I think it'd be impossible to put one out right now. And if you think I'm wrong, guess what? It looks like that Harry Potter game that was, where's the Harry Potter game that was supposed to come out for the PlayStation 5? Right? Kind of, I don't know. Maybe, if your author is not super woke. Oh, and by the way, where's the third of the series of the, Fantastic Beasts? Well, half the actor crew are having their own different major personal problems, which threaten them being in any movie, right? So it's crazy. There's it is a serious problem. So the reality is, I think that right now in 2021, the odds of getting a Harry Potter role-playing game are 1%. And I think last year they might have been 2%, right? But we ain't getting it. But we're getting Strixhaven. And guess what? That's the energy, that's the shape, that's the silhouette. I'm down. Give it to me. I could not be more thrilled for this upcoming book. What's your thought? What do you think? Are you excited for this? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.